I've been playing Fallout 76 as I haven't played it for a while, and I wanted to see if the game had changed in the last year or two since I last played it, as well as discuss with you whether new players should give it a try or if seasoned players should jump back in. As live service games are shutting down left, right and centre, Fallout 76 continues to strive forward after its rocky launch and has gained a real following over the years. Now this video is going to be made up of two parts. In the first part I will be showcasing the start of the game, its introduction to the story, mechanics and the gameplay loop for new players. The second part will be my current character which I have built over the years, and I'll talk about in-game content for returning players. I'll give my thoughts and opinions throughout each part, and at the end I'll provide a conclusion which I hope provides you with some insight. Before we start, if you are new here and you enjoy RPG games, please consider subscribing to my channel. I'm looking to cover games like Starfield, the Cyberpunk DLC Phantom Liberty and the Fallout 4 Next Gen update when they launch. Thanks a million. So let's start with a brief summary of the events leading up to Fallout 76. As we know from all the prior Fallout games, a nuclear war has devastated the world. Some people were lucky or unlucky enough to survive the war by seeking shelter at a vault bunker. In this case, Vault 76 is one of 17 vaults that was not designed for any type of social, physical or mental experiment. After 25 years, you are permitted to leave the vault and help rebuild and recolonize Appalachia, and this is where you begin. You'll start by creating your character with the same character creator from Fallout 4, collecting some resources on your way out of the vault, and you are tasked with finding a location of the vault overseer, who is basically the boss of the vault you just left, as she left the vault first. This is the first main quest and will have you doing all sorts of things as you journey around Appalachia. Now there are a few differences in Fallout 76 compared to its predecessors. Firstly, Fallout 76 is a multiplayer game, so you can play and enjoy with friends, and I think it's a real fun way to play the game. Secondly, there are survival mechanics of which aren't an option like it is in Fallout 4 or New Vegas. You need to eat and drink, keep your radiation low and try not to contract any diseases. In your first few quests you will learn how to engage with each of these systems, as you are tasked with how to create armor and weapons, as well as cooking food and boiling water. You will also engage with the camp system. This is a device which will let you build things within a certain area. You cannot build near other players' camps or by key locations. In my first playthrough I built a house and I decided to convert it into a small shop with quick access to important system related items like the storage box and the punch card machine. You can move your camp location at any time for a small fee. I've seen some really cool and unique creative designs for camps from other players. If you're someone who likes to build and be creative, Fallout 76 would be great for you, as it took the settlement system from Fallout 4 and expanded on it. Now the stories in the game are mediocre in my opinion. I wouldn't come into this game with the expectations that the stories will offer you a deep narrative rich with meaningful choices and consequences like Fallout New Vegas. But what the first main story does is paint a picture of what Appalachia was like after the bombs dropped. The game is really good at environmental storytelling. The first faction you'll come across are the Responders, who were a group of volunteers who helped shortly after the Great War. They were dedicated to helping local communities survive, and it's interesting to learn what happened to them as you play throughout the story. There is one issue I ran into, as this game is a shared world. For example, I was on a quest to stop the leader of a gang from terrorizing a bar that you visit early on in the game, and as I got there, someone had cleared the stronghold already and one or two people had respawned to attack me. So I left the game and rejoined on a new server and encountered the same issue. Luckily enough, I've completed this before, but this could be quite frustrating for a new player expecting a big fight. Majority of the quests though are instanced, so you'll need to enter into a building of some kind, and this somewhat alleviates the aforementioned issue. Now the map design for Appalachia is one of the best in the series. It has a variety of different biomes for you to explore, and this is because Appalachia wasn't touched by nuclear warfare. There are 6 separate areas with different enemies living in those environments. You are free to explore them as you want, but you will come across enemies which are a much higher level than you are to begin with. Fallout 76 has the biggest map size out of the modern games, and you can fast travel, but it will cost in caps. There are a few places you can travel to for free, like vaults you have visited, your camp, and the main plot locations like Foundation and the Crater. Now the perk system is quite different from what you would expect from a Fallout game. They are cards that you equip and can change out on the fly. This makes perfect sense for a live service game, as you don't have to worry about being locked into your perk choices or having to start again to experience a different build. In fact, I have various different builds because of this system. My main build is an automatic rifle VATS build, which gets more powerful the longer I'm in VATS. I also have a crafting and junk run build, so if I craft items, I get the chance to double the amount thanks to Super Duper. I can also harvest more resources and repair items at a greater efficiency. I have a power armor build for endgame content, which provides more protection in highly radiated areas. And finally, I'm making a stealth melee build just to mix things up. Once you've completed the story, you'll be introduced to the endgame. There is a variety of things to do. One of the most common events would be the launch of the nukes. Players can launch a nuke into an area which will not only kill players and destroy their camps, it will make the creatures living in that area stronger. The area will be engulfed in radiation, and you'll be able to find new crafting resources like flux. It will also spawn an endgame boss when a nuke is launched in certain areas of the map, and these bosses have unique rewards. Now the radiation damage will kill you if you do not go into the blast zone without any protection, so it's best to go in your power armor and keep a good supply of Rad-X and Rad-Away on you. There are daily events which are good for farming resources, as well as regular events which can reward you with legendary gear upon completion. As this game is a live service game, new events and quests are added to the game with every new season, which comes around about every 3 months. The latest content to be added to the game is an expedition called The Pit. For the purpose of this video, I decided to give it a try. You begin with completing 3 daily quests to obtain ultracite batteries to be able to travel to the pit. Unfortunately, these are fetch quests. For the first quest, I had to collect ingredients to assist in cooking a stew, and I couldn't find the black pepper. Also requires you to go back to the stew and stir it every 30 seconds, and honestly it became quite tedious. The other quest was to collect anatomy textbooks from a school, which was simple enough, and the final quest was to collect 50 molded plastic. Luckily, I had supply packages containing plastic, so I didn't have to go searching for it for too long. Once I got the batteries, I selected an expedition and made it to the pit, where I'd done a few quests and encountered a new enemy type. In all fairness, the expedition was just okay. It doesn't really do anything new or different. So to wrap things up here, should you play Fallout 76? Now, Fallout 76 is not a conventional Fallout game. It is definitely not what us fans wanted from the series, and I have been known to poke fun at the game from time to time, but I can say it is a really fun game to play, especially with friends. And if you decide that you want to play it solo, there is enough there for an entirely different Fallout experience. The Fallout 76 community are so nice as well. I've had higher level players gift me items to help me out. Fallout 76 does come with some problems as well. They patched out the continuous HP damage for when your character was starving, which has impacted the survival element of the game. Now, if your food and drink meter are low, you will have less max HP, less AP regeneration, and are at more risk of catching a disease. In my opinion, this patch was a poor choice. If it's going to be a survival game, you need to double down and keep the HP damage, or remove the food and drink meters completely. Sometimes the enemy AI do not engage properly in battles, so they just stand around and look at you. And even though the game has been patched numerous of times since its infamous launch, it is still prone to crash. You will experience bugs and the occasional pop-in. A roadmap for the next year is supposed to be on the way, and it's been confirmed that the game is supposed to be getting support for the next 5 years. So it'll be interesting to see if we get a next gen patch like the Elder Scrolls Online. I hope they bring out more expansions to the game like Wastelanders, Still Dawn and Still Rain, kind of like how Bungie's Destiny released their expansions. I think the fans would prefer expansions over the seasonal content they currently get. Nevertheless, since returning to the game to make this video, I kind of want to play the game and try out new things. So what do you think about Fallout 76? Should Fallout fans avoid the game at all costs? Or should they give Fallout 76 a real fair chance? I want to hear your opinions and thoughts, so let me know down in the comments below. Thank you for watching. My name is Jama. You can find me on Twitter and Insta where my handle is Jama the Gamer. And if you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. But for now, take care.